Okie dokie, we're gonna make a cottage pie. Boring? Yeah. This is not boring. This is the ultimate cottage pie. There's a good story with this dish, and it goes back 15 years, but I guarantee you, you've never had cottage pie quite as good as this. Okay, so this is a very simple thing, but we're just making it much more complicated, because a cottage pie is something that sticks with everyone. Everyone knows a cottage pie. Everyone's mum has made a great cottage pie, but classically, you'll be making that with a minced beef and maybe a little bit of sort of braising beef, that kind of stuff. I'm going to do this with short rib, so it adds another element to it. There is another process that's got to go on, but it's genuinely worth it. Ads, I've got no more salt, man.
No way.
Yeah. Just going to season the pan. No point seasoning that, it's too big, like a dinosaur bone. In it goes. Beautiful. We're going to brown those. The colour on these is the very essence and soul, thank you, of the cottage pie. They're very important. You get massive amounts of colour and season them really well. Salt and pepper. Right, nice colour on those. We have already made a mashed potato, which I've turned into a duchesse by adding egg yolk into it, a little bit of parmesan, a little bit of mustard, a little bit of salt and pepper, but it's a nice mash into a bag with piping nozzle. But you want to get that on now and get that going, but I've done that because you don't want to see me peel and boil potatoes. Very boring. So nice and brown on our short ribs. Let's cut some veggies, right? Now, first things first, I'm going to cut these carrots. These are not going to be mirepoix or the browning vegetables to braise the short rib, actually. They're going to be for something completely different. Here's a great story about this dish. I'm going to go all the way back to 2010, 11 and 12. That's a long time ago. I was downstairs at Trinity, cooking away, cooking my heart out. We're doing kind of 100 cover services. It was a different beast to the one it is now. It had a tasting menu, which we don't anymore. And the main course of that tasting menu was a little beef and short rib cottage pie with bone marrow. And it came to the table with flaming rosemary. So there is a little bit of kind of taking me back to those times. A little bit reminiscing in this dish as well. But I did cook this at home for my family the other week, just to kind of remind myself whether it was actually as special as I thought it was. And by God, it was special. It was absolutely delicious. Look at that, Sam. That's the kind of colour we're after. And what is colour, Sam? Flavour. That's the one. Right, so cut these carrots up. These play a really important part. I'm cutting them kind of on the angle. More angles I've got, the more opportunities for coloration to happen. So keep those separate like that. Right, now, this veg here is mirepoix for the braising of this short rib. So that's a 2.5 hour braise, that guy. So it takes a while. So what we don't want is tiny bits of veg. We want big pieces of veg that after 2.5 hours aren't going to turn into pulp. That is peeled the celery, Sam. Look at that. Peeled celery. I get given peeled celery for my mirepoix. That's where I've landed. That's what you guys have done here. Jesus Christ, I'm like privileged man. I also got told a fact earlier. If you're watching this on YouTube, prepare for a shock. 79% of the people watching this video now are not subscribed. It's free, it doesn't bother you, it doesn't give you any notifications, and it really helps the channel. Just gonna leave that there with you. Don't care, do care, but you know, 79%. Woo! And a massive thank you to the 19% that are subscribed, because that's like really beautiful, so thank you. Onion, celery, carrots, nice brown beef all the way around. Not on the bone side, you don't have to worry about that. Why, that's hot. Look at that brown, beautiful. Brown is flavour. Right, these, we're going to rip these out now. What's in here now is kind of rendered beef fat and brown, right? First thing that wants to go in is these carrots. Stay with me, because this is a little bit different. These carrots are going in because they're a big part of the building of the cottage pie. They are not about the braising of the beef. Don't get me wrong here, stay with me. There's a lot going on here. So these carrots are, I don't want to go too hot. These carrots are all about the building of the cottage pie. So don't mistake these as the braising of the beef. Keep them nice and flat in the pan. We want nice colour. This was always a big thing. So on a Saturday night at Trinity, we'd have like 110 booked. We'd probably be doing, you know, in the region of 60 tasting menu across of 100 cover service. And on the hatch of the kitchen, which looked out on the private room, all these little orange cruises like this, except they were like individual ones like this. And anyone that was in the kitchen with me at that time, drop a note in the comment. You will remember this. You can't have not remembered this. And before service, sort of 5:30, was running around frantic, building all these little cottage pies in their little orange cruises, building them up, putting the carrots in, piping the mash, putting the bone marrow, putting the rosemary, and we'd line them all up on the pass there. There'd be like 40 or 50 of them. We didn't have enough pots, so you'd have to recycle the pots in the service anyway. And then the checks would fly in, 2 tasting menu, 2 tasting menu, 2 tasting menu, and you'd take them and you'd bake them in the oven. But they were an odd thing to serve as a tasting menu main course. But how utterly delicious at the same time. I mean, it wasn't like trying to be super fancy or Michelin-starred restaurant. We weren't that kind of restaurant. But we were trying to deliver bundles of pleasure. And this does that. This definitely does that. So the reason I've done the carrots now in this is because I want them to take all that beef fat on, keep that temperature up. The water's coming out of those carrots. Keep that temperature going. And we want a little bit of browning and a little bit of softening of those carrots. It takes a couple of minutes. Okay, into these carrots goes a couple of star anise. Really nice. I've kept a couple back for the braising of the beef, as I always do. But into these carrots goes a star anise as well. I really love the anise with the beef in this short rib cottage pie. And you see these carrots now, they're getting a little bit of colour, and I want them cooked. They're not really going to get much more cooking in the cottage pie. So we want them to be like 90% cooked before they get taken out. So keep going on those, take your time and just work them up. They don't need seasoning, these carrots, because they're picked up all the seasoning that was already in there to do the beef. And they're cooking essentially in the beef rendered beef fat. So utterly delicious. Right, they look good to go to me. Let's switch that over. Put those onto a tray for a minute. That pan goes back on. Into that pan goes our mirepoix, our peeled celery mirepoix. Ooh. Carrots, our onions. Got a head of garlic, Adam. Our star anise in there. And any bay leaf and thyme adds as well. A little bit more oil to top that up. Important we get some browning going on here. Go in with a little bit of rosemary. Get a little bit of colour going on. 1 head of garlic, just cut it straight in half like that. Open it up, drop it in. I like to push it in face down so it gets colour. See that? Smell rosemary, I smell beef fat, I smell carrot, I smell star anise. Look at that, look, all the aromats, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right, let's have an oven set at 160 degrees, and this is going to be a 2.5 hour braise at 160 degrees. There's a long, slow braise in all that wine and the stock and all the vegetables, and it's all just going to become super soft. So once we get that beef in there, once it's come back out of the oven, super soft on the beef. We'll be able to pick that down. You can do this the day before, that's really important. You can do it 3 days before, leave it in the fridge. Take it out when you need it. This is a cottage pie that is not a family Wednesday night meal. This is a dinner party for your best friends to get them round and deliver something utterly unctuous. You could drink the best bottle of claret in your cellar with this cottage pie and it would stand up. That's the difference. Okay, nice brown on those veggies now. In goes the wine and the pork. So that's the wine and the port from the recipe below. You're not finding that in an ordinary cottage pie. So this is about adding depth and layer and indulgence and elegance to this as well, to really level it up, right? So the port is adding sweetness, the wine's adding acidity, and they're all adding layers into there as well. So in that goes. This dish is so familiar. This is like an old friend of mine. Something I spent years making thousands of these things. I love this dish very much. My wife loved this dish as well. Okay, so that's reduced down nicely. Leave a little bit in there, don't reduce it all the way down. In goes the beef stock, veal stock. You can buy this or make it, whatever you want. Just really good rich beef stock, it's really important because it becomes the sauce for the whole thing at the end. And I like to put that in with the beef now. And I want that beef sticking out, bone up, guys, yeah? So keep the bone up, because we don't want to cook the bone, we want to cook the meat underneath it. They might naturally fall over during the, or turn over during the braising cycle, but basically squeeze them back in. You want this to be packed like this, it's really important, because then everything is nice and pushed together. Look at that, look, a bit of star anise just for effect on the top there. Right, that needs a little cartouche. Ever seen how to make an oval cartouche? Nor have I. I don't think there's any such thing. I won't. I'm just going to make a normal one. Put on the top there. What I'll do, because my fan assist in the oven will blow that around otherwise, so I'll just leave a spoon on top. And then that's going to go in the oven, 2.5 hours, 160. Nice, slow, long, gentle braise. Let it all come together. Relax. Time for a cup of tea. Right, there we go. 2.5 hours of long, slow braise. There's the money shot. Look at that. Whoa. That doesn't smell delicious. I don't know what does. See how giving that is? That's where you need it. You need to be able to put a spoon all the way through that. Right, see that? The spoon just goes all the way through. That needs to relax now. It needs to come out. All that liquid needs to be passed off through the chinois, brought to the boil, skimmed to get rid of all the fat. And you need to reduce that down by half. Hold that, flake up the meat, and then we'll move to the next stage of this incredible cottage pie. Okay, so on to stage 2. We've now taken that short rib, we picked all the meat off the bone, very simple. We kept that separately, bones away. Sauce into a pan, reduce down, skim, take all the fat away and reduce that by half. We've then taken some onions as per the recipe and we've sweated those down and made an onion lyonnaise, much the same as you would for a French onion soup or any lyonnaise onion. Sliced onions, butter, salt, cook slowly to end up with melted onions just like that. So that's a short rib, there's our onions, there's our carrots that we made earlier. Bone marrow is ready, sauce is ready. Just an assembly job now. So all this meat, keep it warm so it's not completely congealed and can break apart a little bit. In goes the onions, nice amount of melted onions into that. Not all of those. And we're going to build up the mix for this cottage pie. In goes the reduced liquid. And all we need to do now is just mix all of that together and make sure it's got enough moisture in it. This mix I've given you with a 3-bone short rib is enough to make cottage pie for 6 people. So this is loads, but this one I'm making now is a kind of generous 2 or 4. So mix all that together really nicely. Get rid of all the star anise, get rid of all the vegetables, all finished. And this is the mix that you're looking for. Onions and the sauce and that unctuous, delicious meat. That just looks fantastic. You could do so many things with that. Into a ravioli, put it through pasta, put a bloody great spoon in it and away you go, or just with mashed potato. But getting it to cook together with the mash and the bone marrow, that's how you're going to kind of elevate this to a whole new level. So in the pot it goes. I choose to do it in this nice big, it's quite a deep pot, this one, to be honest. I would normally use a slightly shallower one, but I really love this particular pot. I bought it in an antique market in Burgundy, and I really want to use it, so that's going in there. There we go. That goes in like that. Let's wipe away that. Pop that in. Right, now in comes those carrots. Now we need to lift the star anise out because that is definitely too crunchy to eat. They all go in there. I think they're really important, these carrots, so don't be shy on them. And if you're in a restaurant and you're making this, bear in mind the carrots are cheaper than the cottage pie mix, so that's partly why they go in there. Then we've got a bone marrow that's been dropped into salted water overnight, brined, takes away all the blood, things like that. So we just pop that in. That sits like that. Right, now all we need is that fantastic duchesse potatoes. Remember, this is mashed potatoes with some egg yolk in there, bit of parmesan. A glorious thing. A centerpiece, a feasting table, dinner party, cottage pie. Cottage pie at another level. What a great thing. Glad we did this. I haven't done this one for so many years. Very nice. Belongs on the channel. Belongs in my repertoire. I like to build up a little bit around the bone marrow, because the bone marrow, as it melts, it kind of spills out. And I love that. Melt over the top. One last little piece de resistance on there. We just add a little bit of black pepper, which is lovely with the mash and the beef. I made a little hole in the bone marrow before I popped it in as well. And I'm just going to put this rosemary, push that in. You'll see why after. You'll see why at the end. Push that in. That is going in an oven at 200 degrees for 20 minutes.